Walking by faith and not by sight. If I were to ask you today, are you walking by faith or are you walking by sight? How would you answer that question? Are you living your life based on what you can see and understand? Or are you truly walking in alignment with God's purpose, trusting Him for every step you take? Too often, we find ourselves hoping that things will simply work out while neglecting to fully place our faith in God. But God desires that we walk by faith, not by what we can see, not by what we can calculate, but by trusting Him in all things. Living by faith means placing our confidence in God's plan, even when the outcome is uncertain. Many people struggle to move forward because they need to see tangible evidence before taking action. But the essence of faith is believing without seeing. It's believing in what God has spoken over your life, even when the circumstances don't align with His promises. Hebrews 11:1 defines faith as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is holding on to God's word as if it is already done, even when there is no physical evidence to support it. All of us encounter moments when we desperately want to hear God's voice, to receive a clear sign regarding a major decision, a relationship, a career change, a financial investment, or a life-altering move. We want to be 100% certain of God's will, but faith doesn't work that way. If we had all the answers before making a decision, there would be no need for faith. Instead, God calls us to step out in faith, trusting that He will guide us, even when we can't see the full picture. We often find ourselves asking questions like, should I get married? If yes, to whom? Should I pursue higher education? Should I accept this new job offer or stay where I am? Is this financial investment wise? We want complete assurance before moving forward, but God rarely gives us that. He wants us to learn to walk by faith, to pray, seek counsel, and then step forward, believing that He will order our steps. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. God's plans and purpose. God's plans for us are good, but they don't always align with our timeline or expectations. Jeremiah 29:11 assures us, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Notice that God's plans are plural, meaning He has many plans for our lives. Even if we make a wrong turn or a poor choice, God is still able to redirect our steps and bring us back on course. One of the biggest hindrances to walking by faith is the fear of making the wrong decision. We become paralyzed, afraid to move forward without a perfect guarantee. But faith requires risk. It requires trusting God even when we don't have all the answers. God is not sitting in heaven waiting to punish us for every mistake. Instead, He is a loving Father who guides, corrects, and redeems. Even if we step out in faith and make a wrong decision, God can take that mistake and turn it around for our good. The danger of walking by sight. Walking by sight means relying solely on what we can see, touch, and understand. It is living by logic rather than by faith. When we walk by sight, we limit ourselves to our own understanding, shutting ourselves off from the miraculous. We may miss God's best because we are too afraid to take a step of faith. But when we walk by faith, we open the door for God to do exceedingly and abundantly above all we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. Abraham is a perfect example of someone who walked by faith and not by sight. God called him to leave his homeland and go to a land that He would show him, without providing a detailed itinerary or a specific destination. Abraham didn't know where he was going, but he trusted the God who called him. In the end, God fulfilled every promise He made to Abraham, but it required faith, patience, and obedience, trusting God in uncertainty. Faith means trusting God when the road ahead is unclear. It means choosing to believe that God is in control, even when life seems chaotic. When things don't go as planned, we can still rest in the fact that God is sovereign. He has already written every chapter of our lives, and nothing takes Him by surprise. Isaiah 46:10 tells us that God declares the end from the beginning. He knows the outcome before we even take the first step. He sees the entire picture, while we only see a small part. Therefore, we can rest in His guidance, knowing that even if we make a mistake, He is able to course correct and lead us back on track. Concluding thoughts. Walking by faith is not a one-time event. It is a daily choice. It is choosing to believe God's word over our feelings, choosing to trust His promises over our fears, and choosing to move forward even when we don't have all the answers. Faith is not the absence of fear, but the determination to keep moving forward, trusting that God is with us every step of the way. When we fully embrace the truth that God is in control and that His plans for us are good, we can walk with confidence and peace. We don't have to know every detail or see every step. We simply need to trust the one who holds our future and believe that He is faithful to complete the work He has started in us. Philippians 1:6. So, take that step of faith today and trust that God is working all things together for your good and His glory.